Welcome back to this series on how to start a vending business. Now we're going up to $1,000. So let's talk about what is the best path for you to take to become profitable as quickly as you can in your vending business, because obviously with any business, most of us want to make as much money as we can as quickly as we can. Especially in the vending business, this is a little more possible because once you get a machine, fill it with product and put it on location, you can start generating income practically overnight. So it is one of those businesses where once you start, it does rather scale very quickly. But before we get into the exact machines and the things that I think you really need to know that I will discuss at the end of the video, and kind of things to remember as you begin this journey of becoming a vending business owner, is basically choosing the right products. And I know this might not make sense with your $1,000, but we will get to machines and other things later on. But choosing the right products is probably the most important pillar of this business. Depending on what machines you start with, whether it's a bulk machine, a snack machine, a soda machine, a crane machine, you need to pick a good variety, and it has to match the demographic in which the machine is going to. For these, I'm kind of talking more on the snack machine side. So really full line vending, salty, sweet, refreshing. You want a combo, you want a mix of products that people like. Otherwise, you know, people aren't going to use your machine if it's just basic stuff or if it's only one variety of things. You want to really test out the varieties when you're starting your vending business and where you place these locations, because you don't exactly know what location and what products is going to do good at certain spots. And you only start to learn that as you grow your vending business and get more and more accounts. But demographic specific product is always a must, depending on what your demographic is, where the machine is placed, and who's passing that machine most frequently. You want to have products that match that demographic's needs, wants, and desires in terms of snack or candies or products. And then another big thing is focusing on your profit margin and making sure you have a profit margin of about 50% minimum, if not more, because that is what's going to tell you if you're going to be profitable at the end of the year or the end of the month based on your upfront investment. And that goes into pricing, because it's just as important as the product, because if you price something too high, you're going to get no sales. If you price something too low, you're not going to make enough money to sustain this business in the long term. You need to find that happy medium between product pricing and product margins, and see what your demographic or where the people are who are using your vending machines will like the most in terms of pricing. And this is kind of trial and error, and you do always want to start higher and see where people are with their pricing and then work down if sales are not being made. If you buy a machine for $1,000, this is always a good question to ask: how many vends until you're profitable? You know, if you do get lucky and find a machine for $500, it's going to take you a minimum of 500 vends, if not more, because of your profit margin to be profitable. So always think how many vends you need, work backwards from that, find locations where you can see that a certain amount of employees would buy from your machine, place the machine there, give them the right products, and go from there. And you'll see, you know, this business really does start to pick up once you have people in the location willing to use your machines. And then that goes into our locations, finding the best locations. You know, these are some of the greatest accounts and rather hard to get as a beginner, just because you don't have the best machines, you don't have the best catalog, you don't have the best reputation in your area. But car washes, laundromats, malls, shopping centers, warehouses, lobbies, hotels, gyms, etc., office buildings, maybe even where you live, or maybe you know someone who has a business that needs a vending machine. So it's all about just finding the best accounts, place these machines at, and understanding that not every location needs a vending machine and not every vending machine should go on certain locations. And you just have to learn that process, figuring out what the best locations are and what the worst locations are. And it does take some time to understand that, and you will learn as you go in this business, but it's important to start. And these are two of the best places to find vending machine deals. If you're not looking to buy brand new equipment, these are the best two marketplaces where you can meet up with people and see what machines they have, compare prices, test the machines out, and get some good deals, negotiate. If you're good at negotiating, always remember the first one to mention price loses. So always lowball the heck out of everyone who's selling vending machines or vending machines on location, and make sure you are aware of what you're buying, brands, test it out. Always bring change so that you can test the change mech, test bills, test the bill acceptor, etc. And now we can kind of transition into what machines are going to be best for your vending business based on what you want to do in this industry. So these are 5 brand new bulk candy machines for $1,020. These are some of the best bulk candy machines out there, and you can equip them with different wheels to sell toys or different gumballs or different candy. And you have to be aware of kind of what you're gonna sell when you're starting with bulk candy machines. But these are a great way to start. 5 of these on locations, doing maybe $30, $40 a month. You do the math, 40 times 5, you know, you got about $200 with a nice profit margin. So within 8 to 10 months, you're profitable with these machines. But of course, not everyone wants to start with bulk candy machines. And obviously I started with bulk candy machines, and I think it's a great way to start in this business, just to get your feet wet. These machines require no electricity, you know, no motors, no motherboard. They're simple manual machines and can vend and vend for years on years on years without any hassle, without any service calls. These things are great, and they can sit for a lot longer than a soda or snack machine traditionally. So depending on where you want to start and how much passive income you want, these might be the best way, because these machines are are the most passive. Obviously not the best picture, but I'm sure you've seen a triple head vending machine before. And these machines are just the most passive because these could sit for a month, 6 weeks, and then you can go and collect 30, 40, 50, $100, depending on where you place them and the revenue shares that you do with businesses. So always suggest starting with bulk candy, but I know not everyone enjoys that. So moving on, one used soda machine. This is a Dixie Narco 501. These machines are super reliable, great machine. Galaxy Games 843 here on YouTube has one of these machines. These machines are great. You're at $12.95 for one machine. Get this on a location doing $300-400 a month. You've made your money back in about 8 months. So these things are great. If you have a good margin on your soda of a markup of 50%, whatever it may be, these things will work and work. Not many issues. Dixie Narco is a great company. It's simple things, whether it be a motor or the compressor, depending on how old the compressor is. But if you find a 501E in your area, you're not going to want a single price machine though. I don't know why I put a single price soda machine here, but single price isn't always the smartest because that means every single product in the vending machine has to be priced the same. So definitely something to look out for when you're looking for used soda machines. Always make sure to look up if it's single price or multi-price. I've made the mistake of buying a used machine for $300 and it was single price, and I had cans and bottles and they all had to be the same price. So it kind of is annoying when that's the case, and you can't really change it unless you change the entire board. So never really go with single price soda unless you're selling all cans, all bottles, then maybe it'll work, but you're kind of limited to one price and that is it. But I never really liked single price machines. And I would also go back and say soda machines are probably the best in terms of profit, but the product is the heaviest to transport. And then snack machines are lower in profit because you know you have like candy and stuff, and chocolate's going up in price in September, but it's a lot lighter to transport and you can hold a lot more product, or at least variety in terms of snacks. So this is a AP 113 snack machine. It's about $1,400, so it's a little more expensive than our $1,000 budget, but hopefully you have an extra $300-400 laying around. If not, that'll go towards your product. And maybe you could find this specific machine in Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist in your area and get it for a lot cheaper, maybe even half the price. Sometimes I've seen these machines go for $600-700, but of course you get what you pay for in this industry. Depending on how much you pay for a machine is going to depend on how long the machine is going to last, or if the machine isn't going to work after you put it right on location. So it is pivotal and important for your vending business to always test the machine and never rush to make a purchase in this industry. If someone has a vending machine and you meet up with them and you see it, don't rush to make the decision right there. Give it some time, give it some forethought, and do your due diligence on every machine that you look at. And these are awesome. I'm in the process of starting another series of mini cranes. I have about 14 mini cranes that I'm going to place that I imported. I kind of want to show the process of starting a mini claw machine business. If you're interested in that, leave a comment down below. Those videos are coming here in the next 2 weeks. So I'll show you guys the entire phase 1 to phase 4 of starting and growing a mini claw business, telling you guys how much it makes, how to install the NIACs and stuff like that. These machines are from candymachines.com and they're just under $1,000, and they come with a free fill of 200 pieces of product. So you're making money from the day they land at your house or business. So yeah, mini cranes are the new wave of bulk vending machines. They accept change, dollar bills, and NIACs, or depending on how you configure it, they can accept only credit card, whatever it is, but I suggest accepting everything: cash, credit, debit, and coin. Yeah, they send you free products for this. So for 200 products in this thing, you can place it on a location and probably make your $1,000 back, depending on how easy it is to pick up your products in these machines. So highly suggest starting with these if you're looking for the amusement side of vending business. These things are great. They require different locations. You're not going to place this at your traditional like gym or like, I mean, car washes are probably good, but you have to kind of play out different local businesses that kind of have the most kids and traffic of families who are passing this machine and would be willing to play. I also recommend 2 of these. Obviously we're starting with $1,000, but one next to each other with 2 different types of product sets always do better than just one machine standalone. That's just the psychology of choice. When there's 2, you're going to pick one over the other instead of it just being one. You don't really have to make a choice whether you're going to play or not. As we wrap it up here, I want you guys to always remember these things, and this is kind of just more on the qualitative information. Purchasing one good used vending machine or new vending machine for $700 to $900 rather than multiple cheaper machines, that's always going to be smarter, and you're always going to want to make sure to carefully inspect these machines and test them before buying. Test every coil, test the motherboard, test setting prices, learn the machines, you know, before you really dive into it. Stick to established brands: Dixie Narcos, Crane, Royal Vendors, USI, Vendo, Sega, because it'll make it easier later on for your maintenance and repairs, because these machines do break. That's why I always suggest starting small, starting with bulk candy machines. Those rarely break, and if they do, the parts are so much cheaper than a full line vending machine or a crane machine. Make sure you research and select the most popular snacks as well, as we spoke about, candies, the drinks. You know, you want to stock things that match your area, your demographic, where you live. What sells where I live may not necessarily sell where you live. So always be aware to figure out what is selling. The best way, go to your local Sam's Club, Costco, BJ's, see what kind of variety boxes of snacks, drinks, and candies they have, and go from there. Test those products out, see what your locations want. And on that note, make sure you register your business as an LLC just for legal purposes and tax purposes. You're going to want to make sure you have a name, branding, different graphics so that you look professional. And you're going to want to have a product catalog and a price list, because it's super important when you go to businesses. Business will ask, like, what kind of products do you have and what are your prices? And you kind of have to show them. So make sure you make up some type of list, whether it's pulling from Sam's Club or BJ's or whatever wholesale clubs you have, mark them up by 50%, and make sure you know your products in and out so that people also can make a pick when they want vending machines. Approach local businesses, restaurants, offices, gyms to place your machines, talk to them, try to talk to a manager or owner before really talking about what you're doing, and kind of just address the situation that, hey, you have vending machines, you know, you'd like to put them in their establishment. Like, how can we make a relationship work? Just have a conversation. It's not that hard. I know public speaking is the #1 fear in life, but you have to talk to people, and the more uncomfortable conversations you have in this business, the more successful and more vending machines you will place. Use software. Nayax is great. If you need a Nayax, click the link down below. Carefully track your sales, costs, and profit margin from the start. Nayax makes that super easy to plug and play your different products, pricing, and what it sells for. So it really shows you your cost analysis at the end of the month and which products are selling the best. As well, provide consistent service and restocking. And this is important, consistent service and restocking to show locations the benefit of hosting your vending machine. As a vending machine business and industry and people looking into this, make sure your machines are stocked completely. Don't just expect to make a crap load of money from these machines. Don't expect to have large cash pulls from your vending machines. Stock the machines, do your job, and know if the machine is doing well and it's making over $100 a week, you need to be there every single week, making sure that what is selling out is back in the machine so you're not losing money the next week. Very important. This business isn't going to make you a millionaire overnight, but if you do right by your customers will do right by you and use the machine more frequently. Also, reinvesting a portion of your profits to purchase additional machines so you can scale up once you're established is probably the smartest thing you can do, and the smartest thing I did from day one is always reinvesting your profits into more machines, more products, more research, more locations. Always be continuously reinvesting in the future of your business. If you want to be in this vending machine business, think long-term, think 3 years, 5 years, 7 years out, where you want your vending business to be, how many vending machines you have, what type of machines you want to have, what type of profit margin you want to have. If you want to scale up, you have to be keenly aware of how much money is coming in and how much is going out so that you can figure out your profit and where you can invest more to grow your business and establish your route to a larger capacity. This kind of wraps up our series of how to start a vending business from $100 to $1,000. Make sure you subscribe, and I look forward to helping you guys start your vending business here on this channel more in the future. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.